Hello there and welcome to practice. My name is MaryAnngeline and I will be leading you through this acceptance and embrace prenatal practice. This is a part of a series that I have filmed for a wonderful student of mine. Her name is Jaime and she is on her pregnancy journey right now. She is with child, going to be a mommy here very soon. So no, I am not specifically pregnant, but this class is dedicated to her and to anyone out there that might be pregnant. If you are finding this video and you are not pregnant though, no, you can still take the class and enjoy everything that it has to offer. With this 20-minute practice, we will focus on the idea of accepting and embracing what's to come. It'll be a nice flow. It will be primarily standing, very, very little weight bearing on the hands. If at any point you have questions or comments, be sure to put them down below. I love answering any questions. I love supporting you in any way that you need. So use me as that guide for you. We will start at the top of our mat. So once you roll out your mat, come on to the top of the mat in a mountain pose and open your feet as wide as your hips or maybe even a little bit wider. So think outer edges of your hips or even a bit wider from there. Rest your arms by your sides and begin to just simply stand tall. If you feel balance is an issue right now, keep your eyes open and focused at one thing in front of you. If you feel safe to close your eyes and take an internal drishti. And notice as you come into this pose, where do you feel the weight in the feet? If you're not sure, begin to rock your weight forward and back. So weight into your heels and then into your toes. And from there, walk your weight side to side to the outer edges of the feet, right and then left. And then make a stand. So find a nice in between all those rocks so you are in neutral and you feel the weight all around both feet evenly. So if we were to move your feet, you would have imprinted your feet onto the mat. From this point, engage through your inner arch, up your inner calves into your inner thighs so that you may support the pelvic floor. A lot's changing through our body in that area when we are pregnant. So let's bring our attention to that area. What do you feel in your pelvic floor right now? What do you feel in the front of the belly? What do you feel in your lower back? I'm sure there's a lot of different sensations. So let's take a moment to just sit with those sensations. Don't judge them. Just simply become aware of them. As you continue to become aware of these sensations, bring your hands now to your belly. As you pause here for a bit longer, breathe in love and gratitude for your body. Breathe in love and gratitude for your baby. And breathe in love and gratitude for this journey that you are on. So as we move through our practice today, let us move with the acceptance of what changes are occurring. What changes are occurring currently in our body, in the growth of the baby, in the responsibilities, in our energy level, in the shift with our spouse or our partner, or maybe you are solo, right? But what is shifting around you and what is shifting within you? And with that shift, inviting an acceptance and embracing the change. It can be hard to embrace change, especially if there's a lot at once. But let's find that compassion to embrace it. Knowing that all change eventually leads to something so beautiful. Blink the eyes open if they still are closed. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Keep the arms up and start to just shift your hips side to side a few times. So really push left hip to the left, right hip to the right. You might feel the weight lift off of the opposite heel a little bit. That's okay. The next time your left hip is over to the left, drop the right arm and take a little side stretch. Bring it back to center. Move your right hip over to the right now. Left hand drops down, little side stretch. Bring it back to center. Bend the elbows, cactus the arms, lift through the back of the heart. Bring your hands to your hips and let's take some circles of the hips. So turn the toes out, open the feet just a little bit wider and start to circle out your hips. One direction, maybe 2 or 3 times, and circle the other direction, moving the pelvis. Bring it back to center now. Take both arms up. Turn your toes forward. Keep your feet as wide as they are. Hands back to your hips. Fold at your hip crease. Gentle bend into the knees. Let the belly rest between your thighs as you take your first fold. Head drops heavy. Hand to the ground for support. If at any point you need blocks, you can always place some blocks under the hands. Let's shake the head out. No. Nod the head yes. So yes, we're accepting. Yes, we are embracing. No, we're not going to let judgment and other people's thoughts and opinions cloud our minds. On your next inhale, halfway lift. So bring your hands either to the mat, your shins or your thighs. Start to drive your chest forward. Exhale, refold. Let the head drop heavy. Let's take that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Come up as much as feels okay for you. Exhale, forward fold. Once more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck your chin to your chest. Bring your hands to your hips. Round up your spine nice and slow. Feel the weight even in both feet. Stay nice and secure with the foundation of the pose. Bring your feet back together. So now they're as wide as the hips, maybe just a tad wider. Send your left foot back for warrior 1. Our left toes are pointed on the diagonal, right toes pointed forward. Reach the arms up towards the sky. If you feel a little tight here, you can open your feet right to left, create a little bit more space for the belly and for the hips. Take the arms up. Bring your right hand to your right hip. And gentle side stretch over to the right. Breathe into the left side of the body. Bend the right knee a lot to create more security and stability in the foundation of the pose. Slowly return back to center. Both arms up. Lift your left heel up, rotating onto the ball of the foot for crescent lunge. Hold here, reach up and long through the spine. And then spiral your heel back down, but now into warrior 2, so that we open the toes to the left. You might have to slide the foot back a little bit. Reach your arms out to a T. Deep bend through the front leg. Reach out through the fingertips. Reverse warrior, right arm goes up. So lift up and out of that side body. Then side angle pose. Let's bring our forearm to our thigh, unless you'd like to bring your hand to the ground. Top arm overhead. Let's take that again. Reverse warrior. Really working through that front leg. Accepting the challenge of that front leg. Side angle pose. Continue that depth. Reach to the top arm. One more time. Reverse warrior. Side angle pose. We come out into a star, so straighten out your leg, pivot your right toes, reach your arms in opposite direction. So radiate out your fingertips, out your toes. Be proud and strong on this journey that you are on into motherhood. Slowly release your fingertips to the ground for this wide fold. Let the head drop heavy if that feels okay. If it doesn't, then stay long in your spine. Once again, shake out the head no, nod the head yes. And breathe. Let's all bring our hands to the ground, whether it's palms or fingertips. Click the heels and toes out. So we're in a very wide Malasana, more of a goddess setup with the lower body. And as you keep your feet as they are, bend your knees, press your hips towards the ground. Nice deep squat. Re-straighten the legs. Bend the knees, press the hips. That should feel pretty good. Straighten the legs and bend the knees. Straighten out those legs. Now walk your hands very slowly to the top edge of your mat with both hands on the inside of your front leg. So we come into a lizard. You can keep the back knee up. Otherwise, we will lower the back thigh, back knee to the ground, point the toes, and we'll pause in this beautiful stretch through the front hip flexor. If the front toes pointing forward feels too tight, turn the toes out and let the leg actually rotate to give yourself a bit more space. We'll be here for a couple cycles of breath. Really acknowledging what's happening in the body. So listening to the changes, embracing the stretch, and accepting if maybe you went too far. Maybe you have to back out of the pose a bit. Maybe you can go further, right? But every one of us is going to experience not only the pregnancy journey so differently, but our bodies every moment, every day, very differently. So honor where you are in this moment. Let's take the right knee back now. Very gently come into a tabletop. You may want to come up high on your fingertips. Slide the right knee back. Little cow and cat here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tail, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, look for the belly. Say hello to baby. 2 more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Last one here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral spine. Open the knees nice and wide, big toes together, child's pose. Belly rest between your thighs. Walk your arms forward, forehead to the mat. Pause and rest in this child's pose. Let's reset before we move into our second side. Begin to shift your weight forward into your palms. Turn those knees back to neutral. 2 options. You can stay in tabletop or we'll tuck the toes. Lift the knees for a down dog. Just here for a moment, stretching out the backs of the legs, the arms. And very slowly taking your way, making your way, taking steps to the top of the mat, coming into your forward fold. Tuck your chin, round your spine, and make your way all the way up to stand. Once you're standing, bring your hands to your hips, step your right foot back. We come into warrior 1 on the second side. Take a moment to adjust your stance. So the right back toes on the diagonal, front toes forward. You may have to open yourself up right to left a little bit. Arms reach up towards the sky. Straighten and lengthen through the fingertips. Really reach out through the shoulder blades. Engage the back glute. Feel the stretch of the back leg, depth of the front leg. Left hand to your hip bone now. Reach up to the right side and side stretch towards the left. Opening up through the underarm and through the little spaces between your ribs. Keep the depth of the front leg as you bring it back to center. Both arms reach up. Now spiral your back heel up for crescent lunge. So we do this just for a moment to really stretch out the foot and the Achilles, but but it's also a great way to transition to warrior two rather than going directly from warrior one. So let's respiral the heel down, adjust your toes now so they're pointing out. Maybe that front foot kind of sneaks to center, both arms up. Focus on spiraling the left inner thigh high and letting the booty kind of wrap under. Keep the depth in your warrior two, reverse warrior. Left arm goes up towards the sky. Nice side body stretch. Side angle pose, bring your elbow to your thigh. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Open out through that right side. Breathe here. Let's flow that 2 times. Inhale, reverse warrior. Lengthen up and back. Exhale, side angle pose. Keep the depth through the front leg. Once more. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle pose. You should definitely feel that front leg kind of firing up now. Let's reach it up to a star pose. Straighten the legs, reach the arms high, radiate out that love, that gratitude you have for your body, for this journey, for your baby. Wide-legged forward fold, fingertips down to the mat. Let yourself hang. We're not going to be here as long this time. So we'll immediately come into flat back. Kick the heels in, toes out. Bend your knees. Now this time, keep your knees bent and just kind of rock your weight side to side a few times. Come back to neutral. Bring both hands to the inner thigh. Lift your chest up. Then dip the right shoulder down. Look to the left. Use the hands to press those knees very wide. Switch sides. Dip your left shoulder down. Look to the right. Back to center. Press yourself up to star. Reach your arms high. Now let's take a goddess pose. Heels and toes out. Bend your knees. Bend your elbows, palms up. So sitting proud in our goddess. On your next inhale, straighten out everything. Reach long. Bring your hands down to the ground. Walk it towards the front edge of your mat. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot into a lizard. Back heel spirals high. You can keep the back thigh up or lower the thigh, knee to the ground, point the toes. Holding this lizard, if parallel feels too constricted right now for you, turn those toes out, let the knee go wide, let the hips sink low. I didn't mention this on the first side, but you are more than welcome to go into your forearms if you have that depth and that depth feels supported for you, right? Feels good, feels safe, continue on. If those aren't checked, then maybe don't go onto the forearms for today. Let's breathe here for just a bit longer. If you are on the forearms, bring it back to the palms. Very slowly press onto your palms or your fingertips. Shift the hips back as you bring your left knee to your right for your tabletop. Let's take our cow and cat. Inhale, heavy through the belly. Exhale, round through the shoulders. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round it out. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round it out. Come back to neutral. Open those knees wide. Bring the big toes together. Sit the booty back for your child's pose. Bring your forehead down to the mat. And for this child's pose, we'll add a side stretch. So walk your hands over to the right. Maybe place your left hand on top of your right. Close your eyes down if you haven't already, and just breathe into the left side body. Slowly walk your hands back through center and over to the left, moving into your second side. On this side, if you'd like, right hand on top of the left. And breathe into the right side body. Slowly bring it back to center. Walk your hands now towards your knees and lift yourself up to seated. Bring your hands on your thighs or on your belly. Close your eyes down. Just pause. Notice what feels different compared to when you first walked onto your mat. Take one more generous breath in. Generous breath out. Let's blink the eyes open, plant the hands in front. Downward facing dog for 1 second. Once you arrive, take the gaze forward. Walk your feet to the top of the mat so you can come into a malasana. Heels in, toes out. Drop the pelvis down. Hands can stay on the ground or maybe elbows to inner thighs. Maybe elbows or forearms are on top of the thighs. Whatever feels good. You can also add some shifts of weight. You can let the head drop down. But just a moment, I love malasana. I think it's such a great pose to work in when you are pregnant. Let's straighten out the legs, pivot the toes forward for a forward fold. Tuck the chin, round up the spine like we've done the past couple of times. Come into a comfortable stance with your feet, however far apart you'd like them. Hands to belly. Breathe in gratitude for your baby. Breathe in love into your baby. Bring your hands to your heart. Breathe in gratitude for yourself. Breathe in love for yourself. And remember this intention of acceptance and embrace. Accepting what's to come and embracing it as it does. I want to thank you, and until next time. Thank you everyone for joining me for this beautiful 20-minute practice. Thank you, Jaime, for the request. I'm so excited to continue to follow along on your journey. If anyone has any questions or comments, put them down below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe my channel for more content. And if you're interested in longer classes or different styles of classes, head over to kineseed.com for the full library and the membership platform, so the Kinesi community. I'll see you all next time.